So this is Blackboard. Have you used Blackboard before? Is this your first semester? Okay. The URL of the address is just blackboard.lawsonstate.edu, or you can get to it through the college's website. I think it's through current students. And then this is the web support for all our classes here at Lawson, so you need to start playing around with it and get used to using it right off the bat. So this is lawsonstate.edu, and then right here where it says Blackboard. And y'all look at the brief. Is that right as far as the default login goes? They changed it from the last. And the Lawson State website is notorious for putting links to links. And this would be, then it should take you to the login screen. And you can do it on this computer here if you want to. So if the computer's not logged in, the username is EBTSTU and the password is welcome, all lowercase letters. So this is the login for Blackboard. Your username is printed on the top of your schedule. It's with it's your email address minus the @lawsonstate.edu. So you got your printed schedule. Okay. Well, when you get it, it's going to be your login for Blackboard is printed at the top of your schedule. That's going to be the same as your email address for Lawson State, minus the @lawsonstate.edu. Now, is it @lawsonstate or is that Gmail now? I think they've changed it. Okay, but it'll be the part of your name on top of your printed schedule without the @lawsonstate.edu. Your login password, your default password. Anybody remember what that is? It's your birthday. I think it's month, day, year. And then you're supposed to change that the first time you log in. And this is Blackboard, and what'll pop up here on this side is all the classes that you're taking. And of course, this is cable splicing and insulation. And then this is the Blackboard site for the class. And so we have the home page, we have our course calendar, which I need to make visible. This is where we'll post announcements. I'm going to look at something that we're talking about, and you need to check your email account at least once every day, right? At least. I have mine so it pops up on my thing every time I get mail through the college. So it's, but there's an application they showed us during the, and I might look at it, but I'm not going to promise, where I can send y'all text. They said it's over a 90% chance of somebody reading the text, and I forgot what the odds of checking your email is. A lot different. So we'll see if we can work that out and see if we can do it that way too. But like I said, it's seems like a pretty neat application, and it's free. This is your assignments. So these are the assignments that we're going to have do during the semester. Hopefully. And I think there's 5 of them already out there. So assignment 1 is due this Friday. Assignment 2 is due next Friday. Assignment 3, I'm not sure. the third Friday. So this would be the next Friday after that, assignment 4. So pretty much in this class, we're going to have an assignment due about every Friday. And these are at-home assignments. Course content, this is where all the lecture slides are going to be. So what we'll do today, of course, is we're going to start into the introduction. This will be what we'll look at today. Something's not quite right. What we're going to do is, we'll come back in a minute, just in the, course content, recorded lectures. We're not using Tegrity anymore. They dropped Tegrity, and we're using a software package they call Screencast-O-Matic, and you can see this dot line around the outside to record all the class meetings that we have. These will be posted, instead of going to Tegrity, we'll actually put them inside the Blackboard site. So that means if you're absent on a day and you miss a lecture, then what do you need to do? You need to go into Blackboard and look at these recorded lectures. They'll be put in here from top to bottom, so the last lecture will be at the top. This is where you go check your grades. This is where the test reviews will be posted. This is where we'll go and take tests when we do take tests. This is where you go to email me or email other students in the class. And then this button right here, I need to delete it or just hide it so y'all can't see it. But what we're doing today is we're working on this right here, first week and course information. This is the first week, right? And of course, this is where your official course syllabus is going to be. So what we don't do is we don't give out syllabi at Lawson State anymore. We're not supposed to, because of the amount of paper it takes up. So what we do is we give you out a syllabus brief. So you'll have the times the class meets, who's teaching the class, how to get in touch with me, how to get in touch with the alternate contact if you can't get in touch with me, plus the books and supplies that's required for the course. That's on the brief. But that is not the syllabus, that is the brief. And then this is the actual official course syllabus. You're required to read this. So this is what we'll do in this class. We'll go over it and make sure you understand it. So the name of the course is Cable Splice and Installation. It's a 3-credit-hour course. We don't put the class meeting on here because we'd have to change the syllabus every semester. Since I'm the only one that teaches the course, then we can leave that in there. Course description, we won't read. You can read that just as good as me. Prerequisites of the course, this is an entry-level course, so that means you don't need a prerequisite. But you do have to, now, this is where we're kind of deviate from what the syllabus says. We teach this course in 2 different sections. The first 4 weeks we'll be dealing with metal conductors, how to splice them, how to terminate them, and then plus how they operate and how we buy them, and all kind of terms that we will get into conductors, into metal conductors. And then the second half of the course we move into fiber optic cables. So we could never find a good book that covered both of them really well. So the way it was originally set up is that we required you to buy first 2 books. And what you would do, it depends on, you could actually buy the first one the first of the term and then wait 4 weeks before you bought the second one. These guys have got up to well over $300 for books. No, for both of them. So what we're going to do is what I'm going to do, and we're going to try it this semester, is that we're going to do it all through the PowerPoints. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the PowerPoints off for you, and we're putting all the information in the book, not everything. And so I'll print those off at every class and give those off to you. We're going to run them in 3 slides per page. So what it's going to do is it's going to give you a little place on the right-hand side to make notes about each one of the slides. And that's why we'll do it in this class. So we won't have to buy a book in this class. Okay. In fact, I didn't even order this time. When I looked at the price of the books, I knew, man, there's no way in the world we're going to do that. You do, so basically the only thing you need for the class, we provide everything else in the class, is you gotta have safety glasses with side shield. Safety glasses, you gotta have safety glasses. No, we're gonna supply everything. This class we supply everything. So we do soldering in this class, we're gonna provide the soldering irons. So, yeah, you're gonna be yeah, because we're doing cable splicing and installation. I mean, in installation. So what we're doing is we're teaching splicing. I don't know what splicing is. What's splicing? That's stripping wire. So Alabama Power is out here running all this cable. We're fed, our power is fed from Tennessee. So what's the odds of them having a spool of wire long enough to reach from Tennessee down to, or even to the first transformer bank? What's the odds of that happening? What happens when they drop a tree line on a wire out there on their power cable and it breaks it in two? Do they come out and bring out that big old truck with that big old spool of wire? What do? They splice them together. So splicing is a technique where we connect two conductors together. How we connect two conductors together. And we do that all the time, right? So I'm here and I got a wire that breaks in a cable. Am I going to run a whole new cable? No. What am I going to do? I'm going to splice them, right? So splicing is a technique of connecting two conductors together. And then we're going to teach termination. What's termination? Huh? What's the function of the conductors in a circuit? To get the power from the source to the load. So eventually all conductors come to an end. So they're going to come to the end in some type of device, either the power supply, right? You know, so I go out there and pop the hood on my cable and I look at my battery and those red cables and those black cables are terminated. So termination is the process of bringing a conductor to an end, right? You understand? Where we finally hook it up to a device. Either we hook it up to a source of the power or we hook it up to the load that the power's intended. It's just like your blood vessels. What's the function of your blood vessels? To move the blood from your heart to your muscles. That's the function of the vessels. That's all they're in there for. And eventually they have to terminate, right? They have to come to an end. How do they? Now that's termination, and that's what we teach in this. But it's installation and termination. So we're going to have to go through how do we get the wires. We're going to talk about conduit and pulling wires and all that other kind of stuff. So there's a lot to class. So that's what we're teaching. We're teaching how to install, splice, and terminate conductors. That's what this class is about. And so we'll start off using metal conductors in the first 4 weeks, and then we'll do what? Then we'll move to fiber optics the second 4 weeks. So we're not going to textbook, but we're going to be dealing with glass. We're going to be dealing with copper, metals, and we're going to be clipping wires, cutting wires, and stuff like that. And I don't know if you ever dealt with conductors before. Pieces fly off, so you need to make sure you have safety glasses. I have like 5 or 6 pair in my house. You only got one set of eyes. I need to take care of them things. So that's what our competencies are. We'll start off with a basic review of electricity, or not a review. We'll go in a basic lecture of electricity. So this is what we're going to talk about on copper. And then this is what we're going to deal with when we get to fiber optics. Now what we're going to do is we have 3 tests during the term. And the test schedule should already be up in Blackboard. So if you go to course calendar, it should show you the actual days the tests are going to be at, plus when the assignments are due. We have the safety and evacuation quizzes. So we have a quiz on the syllabus that you have to do. We have a quiz on the fire and evacuation procedure for the Bessemer campus you have to do. We have a syllabus agreement that you have to do before next class. and we have a dress code adherent that you have to submit before Friday. So what's due Wednesday, of course, is the syllabus agreement, saying I've read the syllabus, I agree with its content. So if you don't agree with the contents of the syllabus, you can't take the class, right? Everybody understand that? So that's due. That's 3% 2% of your grade. Tests are 25%. Doing the assignments and doing the homework is 13%. The labs that we'll be doing during the semester is 35%. Just having your required supplies for this class is not very much. It's 5%, and then the final exam. 3 tests, what we do is we don't give makeup tests in this class. It's a mini-term class. It only lasts 8 weeks. So what we're doing, everybody okay with mini-terms? You understand mini-terms, right? So what we do is we meet the class twice as long. So what you're doing is we get the same material, but every class we're doing 2 classes worth of work over a 16-week term. So missing 1 class is like missing a whole week out of a 16-week term. So it's going to be hard in a mini-term to miss a class. We don't give makeups because the way the test works is we'll take the test at the end of 1 class, we'll come in the next class and we'll go over the test. Well, if you don't take the test, what can't we do the next class? We can't go over the test, right? You understand that? So you skip and you make up the test, then we'll go over the test, and then we go over the test, and then you take another test the next class, right? You understand that? So we don't do makeups. But what we do is we drop your lowest test score. And if you miss 2 tests, even a 16-week term that's got 3 tests available, if you miss 2 tests, you're going to fail that class anyway, right? You understand that? So we drop your lowest test score. So that means if you're absent on a day that the test is due, then that is not going to hurt you. If you miss 2 tests, then that's going to really cause problems. Assignments, this talks about assignments. Assignments in chapter quizzes. We do have some quizzes in this class. I need to go back and look at them. Worksheets, we do have some worksheets. We do have some research projects, but those are inside assignments. Are given out in class, or provided through the course content assignment section of Blackboard, and that's not exactly true, is it? I need to go back and reword that. What we did is assignments are so important that we actually put a link on the home page, right, for assignments. So points will be deducted for each. So I'll put the date that the assignments are due. We're going to deduct points for every 24-hour period if you turn them in late. So a topic quiz, though, those are due within 7 days after we complete the topic in class. Now this is true. All class worksheets are distributed online or through Blackboard. Most of our worksheets we'll give out in class, by the way. But if you're not here, and then you go in and you see on the calendar that a worksheet's due, and you wasn't here when I gave it to you, then what can you do? Go to Blackboard, and you can do what? You can print it off. By the way, another thing that I need to change this is that if you're absent on the day that a worksheet is due, then what you can do is you can scan it, or you can snap a picture of it, the completed worksheet, and you can send it in and get credit for it. Okay, y'all understand that? Final exam, nobody's exempt from the final exam. I've had people, almost every class that I teach thinks that they make 100 on all 3 tests, that they don't have to take the final. And they don't have to take the final. It's just that it's 20% of your grade. So that means if you was going to make an A, you'll end up making a C for missing the final. Recorded lecture, we're going to make an attempt to record every lecture in the class. So we're recording this right now. We're going to upload them to Blackboard. Now these things are made during actual classroom environments. We don't edit them for content. I don't edit them for time. Y'all understand that? And this is a technology. So I mean, sometimes they don't work. So don't depend totally on recorded lecture. But if you're absent on a day, then what do you need to do? You need to come up and see if that class was recorded. You need to get to class on time. All of y'all today did real good. Course withdrawal. Now, I don't understand what goes on here. I think I explained it really, really well. Of course, if they're not here, they don't hear this. And if it's their first semester, it's a big problem. But I cannot drop you from a class. So that means if you stop coming and you do not drop the class, then I grade you like you're sitting. So if you don't take a test, you get a what on it? You get a 0. You don't turn in an assignment, you get a 0. At the end of the semester, you get a what? You get an F. Almost every semester since this policy was adopted, and they call it the right to fail, that was a government rule, then I've had somebody that just stopped coming and didn't do what? They didn't withdraw from the class. And what did they end up with? They end up with an F. So to officially withdraw from the class, what you have to do is you go onto the college's website. Under quick links, there should be a class withdrawal. It's a very easy procedure to do that and withdraw from the class. If you withdraw from the class before the last day to withdraw, which should be published on the calendar, then you will receive a W in the course. If you receive a W, if you drop the class before the end of drop add, then nothing happens, right? If you drop the class by the last day to withdraw and get a partial refund, then what you'll do is you'll get a W in the class. If you drop the class before the last date to withdraw, you will get a W in the class. A W is a withdrawal, which means you will have to repeat the course, but it won't count against your grade point. If you withdraw after the last day to withdraw, which is published on the college calendar, then that means you'll get a grade in the course. That makes sense? Yes or no? Academic integrity, this just says you're not going to cheat. Code of content, that you're not going to tear up the college property. Disabilities, if you've got a documented disability that requires you to have consideration to allow you to excel or exceed in the class, then you have to contact Miss Renee Herndon and get the paperwork filled out, or Miss Janice Williams over on the Birmingham campus, and then they'll send me a document indicating what we have to do to make it so you can pass the course. But it's been documented. Cell phones, make sure you put your cell phones on silence, you know. And don't talk on your cell phone in class. That bothers me a lot. Of course, I might have to do it today because of what's going on, you know, during the first day of class. We won't do it after that. Acceptable use policy just says use your means of promoting a mission of the college. Statement of discrimination and harassment. We don't harass or discriminate on this campus. If you got children, they're not allowed on campus. And then should a student begin failing this course, he or she must schedule a conference with the instructor. What does that say? Immediately. We had I had 2 students in one of my classes last semester came in the last day of class, the day of final exam, and says, "Is there any extra work I can do to pass your class?" On the day of the final exam. What did I have to tell them? The semester actually is over the class before the final exam, right? There's no more class. So I couldn't do anything for them. Besides, if I give out extra credit assignments, those have to be made available to the whole class, right? You understand that? So I can't do anything for you that I don't do for the what? For the whole class. And then y'all can read this. We're going to, that's as far as we're going to do, as far as just going over it briefly. This last thing, profanity will not be tolerated in the class. Another thing that gets me is this guy right here. Where's it? Yeah, this guy right here. I have problems with this every semester. It is responsibility of the student to inform the instructor if he or she arrives late or leaves early from a scheduled class. Y'all understand that? So we are a roll calling class. We have to do that because of the financial aids that the college offers. I'll do roll at the start of class, and then I'm the kind of person that once I do something, I just basically forget about it. So that means you come in late, I've got you down as absent, and if you don't let me know you're here so I can go back and correct my roll, then you're going to be marked as what? Absent, right? You understand? If you leave early, you're supposed to let me know. That allows me to keep up with a correct roll because I'm responsible for the roll. And it also is a safety concern that if you leave here and something happens and you don't let me know, and then they evacuate this building, and I think you're here and you're not here, then that somebody might come in here, right, and get in trouble, get us in trouble. So just let me, if you leave, there's no such things as excused absences. I've had students show up and turn in an excuse, right? There's no excused absences in college, so you don't have excused absences. So, you know, if you're absent on a day of a test, then you're absent on that. There's one excuse that we're obligated by law to allow persons to make up work, and that's military duty or jury duty. So if you've got to do jury duty, or if you are in the military and they call you up, or you got to go to summer camp, then we got to do what? We have, by law, we have to let you make up work, and that's the only situation I know of. It's just the flow of the class. And we don't curse in my classroom. Are we okay? So there's the syllabus. That's the official syllabus. There's a syllabus quiz up there that y'all need to go take. I got one question I got to take off. I was informed today that the same question is on there twice. If you've already taken it, it won't mean anything to you because it'll automatically regrade it for you. By the way, the syllabus is not graded instantly because there's some information that varies from student to student. So I have to go back and grade that. Just because you turn in your syllabus and you go on Blackboard and you look at your grade and it says it hadn't been graded, and don't get upset because I usually wait till all of them's done and grade all my classes at the same time. So any questions on syllabus? So I don't look like, and where's the syllabus at? If you lose your brief, you can print that off. If you need to go to the bookstore, and if you're in any of the classes inside the MET division, the manufacturing engineering division, then this is the way we do our syllabi, and this is the way everybody's supposed to be doing it. And if you can think about it, you know, college has about 3,000 students. If they were all taking 4 classes, our syllabus is seven pages. Do the math. How much paper that would require just to run the syllabus every semester? A lot. So I didn't get a chance to run y'all's first lecture off, so y'all go ahead and take a break, and I'll run up there and do that. So any questions on this? Okay on the Blackboard side? Are you okay? Okay, we'll see about, I'll try to get your username and try to get you, see if you can log in. I can get to it, it's just that it'll take me a little while. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop the lecture. Y'all go ahead and take a break.